Hello and welcome to Near Dark Podcast. This time we're gonna go camping and take a look at the movie Blair Witch Project. So with me I have a squad of scouts presenting the crew. Josef, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Same.
I'm trying to fight off a man cold at the moment, so I'm. But yeah, I'm fighting through it. How are you, man?
I'm also recovering from fever.
Yeah.
So it's something that goes around the entire country at the moment. Obviously a zombie virus.
Yeah, we'll blame Mr. Zombie over there in the corner.
I am
Yeah.
immune, you fools.
So, speaking of zombies, how are you doing, zombie?
I'm doing okay at the moment. It could have been better, but I'm doing okay. How about
Cool.
Angel?
Sleep deprived. Really sleep deprived. But I blame Twitch for that. So, yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. I agree.
What are you agreeing on?
that Twitch makes you sleep deprived.
I think we're all.
Yeah, Twitch is
I think
evil.
we're all sleep deprived at this point.
Yeah, I mean, days are shorter and it's dark outside all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, have we watched any movies recently?
I watched one. It's a terrifying story about falling in love. Yeah. No. I've legit just watched a guilty pleasure comedy, romance, teen shit. That's about it.
Okay.
Cool.
I am blank.
I've watched a few. First, I watched a movie called I Am Mother. It's on Netflix and it's about that humanity has been destroyed and there's only some stored fetuses and a robot is programmed to give birth to them somehow and raise them. So she starts with just one. It reminds a lot of the movie Tao or Moon, where it's only there's only just a small handful of characters, and it's really good. Like there's a lots of twists and turns, and you don't know who to trust. And
Is
so
it a
forth.
sci-fi horror movie or?
Yeah, it's actually a sci-fi drama, I would say.
Okay.
I
All
guess.
But you gives it a thumbs up then.
Yeah, it's a thumbs up. It's about a 7 out of 10 maybe.
Okay.
It's it's a good movie, but it's not like a must watch. And there are lots of other movies just like it. Like for example, I think it's called Moon and Tao, which has a very similar plot and setting.
Okay. Never heard of
Yeah.
any of those movies.
Oh, okay. I think Moon is pretty well known. Tao is pretty much one of those Netflix things where it's only on
Okay.
Netflix.
Yeah.
They're all equally good in my opinion. Tao is more like a horror version of them. but it's not very scary. I'd say thriller
well-
more like.
Yeah, well, I don't get scared by horror movies, so. Before you continue on with your recently seen, Ogge, you had watched the 3rd season of Slasher, right?
Yeah.
What did you think? What did you think about it? I saw it before the I'm just fucking with you episode. I mentioned it on that episode, but what did
Okay.
you think about it?
I really liked it. It's a lot gorier than the rest of the series.
Yeah.
The previous seasons.
Yeah. Some of the kills were really fucking brutal in the 3rd season.
Yeah, which is pretty funny because it's like a high school. Like that is kind of like it's set in a high school, and those are not usually very gruesome movies. But that one is brutal.
Did you figure out the killer before the reveal?
I think I did. I'm not sure. But it was probably right before the reveal.
Yeah. Yeah, I guessed the killer about 3 episodes in, but I wasn't certain until like the 5th or 6th episode.
Yeah.
But I managed to figure out who was behind the mask.
Yeah. I think the 3rd season I think it's the weakest, like, plot wise.
Yeah,
But
the 3rd season is more about the gore and the brutal killings, while the 1st season is more about the mystery and like the detective side of things, while the second one is more it's a bit like the 1st and the 3rd season in one season, so to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah, exactly. I think it's the best one in terms of like sheer entertainment.
yeah, it's pretty brainless.
Yeah.
But my favorite season is still the second one.
I think so too. Yeah. I think it's the second, the third, and the first one
Yeah,
is at last place.
yeah, definitely.
The first one, the whole mid portion of it is pretty boring.
Yeah. Well, there is at least one killing in each episode of the first season, but
Yeah.
it got this detective murder of the week kind of feeling throughout it. So it just it just gets boring at a couple of times during the season. So
Yeah.
but yeah, what else have you seen?
I've watched The Maniac, the original and the remake.
Joe Spinell and Caroline Munro. And
Yeah.
Elijah Wood in the remake.
Yeah. Those are also gruesome.
Yeah.
I think I prefer the remake over the original.
Blasphemy.
But
Get the fuck out of here. You don't belong here.
well, I think we should do an episode on these two movies, where we can go more in depth. But
Yeah, definitely.
they're both really good, definitely.
Yeah.
And there are like pros and cons to both of them. But as a whole, I like the remake better, I'd say. I think.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking about trying to switch my pick for those two movies this time, but nah.
You would have done us a favor.
Yeah.
Whoops! Spoiler. Have you seen anything else?
No, I only rewatched movies I've seen 100 times before.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I rewatched District 9.
Oh, I really need to rewatch that one. I haven't seen it for years.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, it's up there. It's really fucking
Yeah.
good.
In my opinion, it's the best sci-fi action since Terminator 2.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, I finished up season 8 of The Walking Dead, and I have received season 9 of that series, but I haven't started to watch that yet because I've rewatched the first season of Fear the Walking Dead, and I have started watching the second season of that series. And I'm enjoying Fear the Walking Dead, actually. I know a lot of people don't care for that series, but I don't know. I think it's pretty entertaining. It's a lot of action and a lot of zombies and the good stuff. And just before we started recording, now I rewatched Lucio Fulci's classic zombie movie from 1979, Zombie 2, aka Zombie Flesh Eaters, aka Zombie. I guess all of you have seen that one, right? Right, guys? Right?
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah!
I think I've watched
Let's
both
go,
of them.
zombie eater, yeah!
What did you say, Angel?
Who?
Angel.
Yeah, I think I watched it.
I think you've seen it together with me at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's another movie we will most likely cover at some point as well. I'm trying to think. Have I seen anything else? Oh yeah, I was supposed to be on the It minisode together with you guys, but things came in between and I basically shat the bed. My thoughts real quick. I think the miniseries hasn't aged well. All of the adult actors had this look on their face like, what am I doing here? I really hope the check clears on this one. The best thing, like you guys said, with the entire miniseries is Tim Curry's performance as Pennywise. That's basically it. I didn't care.
Huh?
I didn't care much for the miniseries this time around, unfortunately. I actually, and this is probably a blasphemy to say, but I actually prefer the remake movies over the miniseries.
We are not siblings anymore. Fuck this. I'm done with this pod. Fuck this shit. I'm out. I cannot believe that you just said that. Hell no.
You're fired! You don't belong here anymore!
Damn right.
Heat!
But yeah, that's my verdict of the miniseries.
Yeah.
I don't hate the miniseries, of course. It got its place in history, of course. But at the same time, if I have to rewatch the remake movies or the miniseries, I rather sit down and watch the remakes. That's about it.
Yeah, I actually watched it like you could almost say this a first time watch for me since it was such a long time since I watched it. I don't remember anything,
Yeah.
and I think I should rewatch it again, but as two movies because I thought it was too long. I should have probably watched like for the first half, and then take a break, and then came back and watched the second half. I would have probably liked it a lot more than. I think that's what works against it.
I actually watched the first part one day, and then I watched the next part the day after, because I watched after I came home from work. But the thing is, the thing with the miniseries is that I actually think it would have been a lot better if they made it into a miniseries over like 10 episodes or something.
Yeah, definitely.
And if I remember correctly, that was the plan from the beginning, but since the production company didn't want to spend money on the production, I guess, they made it into a 2-part miniseries.
That kind of reminds me of the series Rome, where they had like 5 or 6 seasons planned, and they had like the funding and everything, but then History Channel, who funded them, had they had financial trouble, so they had to cut expenses. So what happened is after they made season 1, they said we can allow you to make one more season. So they had to cram 5 seasons into one.
Ooh.
Jesus Christ.
It's always bad when you have to cram in the first place anything, like shorter down, when you plan it to be longer than it actually can be. So, oof on that.
They did actually pull it off pretty well. Surprisingly well.
That's nice to hear.
Yeah, so the show ended well, but it should have been longer.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's everything I've seen, I guess. If you guys don't want to talk about It Chapter 2.
I don't mind. It's been out for a while.
I haven't seen any of the remakes.
Okay, then
Yeah.
never mind. I redact my statement.
I'm sure they're good. Or something.
Yeah, let's not.
Or something.
We shall not be spoiling.
I'm sure it's a movie. I'm pretty sure.
You don't say.
It's
sure
got
it's not,
actors and everything.
Ooh, actors!
Even better.
You sure it's not just like a music video or something?
Yeah.
Honestly,
just-
mentioning old
But-
It, the miniseries, I thought it was fucking hilarious. Joseph joined me when I was streaming.
Oh, yeah.
And I pulled the Tim Curry joke with, is your refrigerator running? And he didn't get it. And it took him
my.
goddamn while before he got it.
It took me like 30 seconds before it started to connect in my head what you meant.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
Angel was laughing her ass off.
yeah,
Rightly
much I
so.
started crying. Honestly, like, it's a bad joke. It's a really bad joke. But I just thought it was shit tons of fun. I don't know why. I just started crying about it.
it's just because it's bad and old. It's even better when someone doesn't get it.
Yeah,
That's
true.
what- that must make
Especially
it gold.
since we had watched the movie like the night before.
Yeah.
Excuse me, ma'am, is your refrigerator running? It is. Well, you better catch it before it runs away.
Oh yeah, honestly, that's the best part of the movie.
Yeah, the whole library scene is pretty funny, to be honest.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, Tim Curry. Ugh. Okay, let's move on before.
Yeah, let's roll the trailer then.
Yeah, let's.
Here is the trailer for the Blair Witch Project.
I just want to apologize to Mike's mom and Josh's mom and my mom. I am so sorry. Because it is my fault. Because it was my project.
The search of the 3 missing Montgomery College students continues in Frederick County tonight.
10 days and thousands of man-hours have been unable to produce any clues.
We have a few leads, a few other options we want to take advantage of, and just try to put together some pieces to this puzzle.
Do you believe the occult may be involved in the disappearance of your son?
I am so scared.
In October of 1994, 3 student filmmakers disappeared in the woods near town while shooting a documentary. A year later, their footage was found. Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dum-dum. So, I know what Joseph thinks of this movie, but Soundly, what do you think about it?
Well, I think for what they were going for as found footage, I think it's like very well made because it does get the feeling across that it was just someone walking in the woods holding a camera trying to make this project either for school or whatever, and at that point it does really get across well. So it's got very good actors. Like, the one thing you can say is that it got like good camera work, but you can and can't say that because like it's bad, but it's meant to be bad. So, but I wouldn't really say that it's my cup of tea about what I like to watch as a movie, but I can't really say that just because I don't like the kind of movie it is, it's not a good movie, which is what I think it is. What I did mostly miss in this is like the lack of like background music, even if it's just not like loud and in your face, just there at all, which I am mostly used to in a movie of any kind. But I really felt like watching this movie felt like watching like just a YouTuber's vlog, lol, lost in the woods, gonna die. But yeah, it's not a bad movie, so I'd give it as a rating a 6 out of 10 for me at the moment.
Holy shit.
Cool. So
We're not friends anymore. We are not friends anymore. You cannot give this movie a 6 out of 10.
I feel
Well, hell
personally
no.
attacked. I came here to have a good time, and I'm honestly feeling so attacked right now.
there are no good times here.
Exactly. We're just there to suffer.
Yeah, right.
So, Josef, wanna hear what Angel thinks?
Well, what did you say now?
Josef, do you wanna hear what Angel thinks?
Yeah.
This was the most boring, fucking bullshit fucking movie we have ever watched. You thought my Xmas pick was bad. You thought that was bad. I thought, like, okay, 10 minutes into the movie, I just wanted to end it all. I wanted to turn off the movie and jump out the window. It's so fucking boring. Honestly, it's so goddamn boring. I was just like, why am I watching this? Why am I fucking bothering to watch this shit? The characters were boring, plain, and see-through. The main, I guess you would call her, the main actress. She was fucking bullshit. She was annoying, and I was just like, die! Where's the blood? Where's the body? Die! Just like it's like they get scared of rock piles, of fucking rocks. Go fuck yourself.
Jesus Christ. Talk about glowing review.
Like people like, oh, the Blair Witch Project, it's so scary.
Jesus.
Oh, the only thing that's scary about this movie is how boring it is.
Angel, I got a
Yeah.
question for you. Was this a first time watch for you?
Yes, I've never watched this one before. I know you talked about watching it before, like when you lived here, and I was like, nah. So I did something else. And usually I don't say no to watching a movie. But this one was a no. I don't remember why. It was like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
What did you think of the camera work?
I mean, it's supposed to be a found footage movie. So, they can get a plus point on the found footage part, yes. Because it felt like some fucking... what's it called? They have a specific name for it. 2 seconds.
Shit.
Video club or whatever. Like the losers takes the shittiest camera they have. They walk out like 500 meters out in the woods. Oh no! Wildness! Oh no, we're lost!
You're very passionate about this movie. We can tell.
You didn't like the movie then?
No, I totally enjoyed it. Like, I will definitely watch this again. Like, fuck yeah, I will gather together all my friends and we will all sit together and watch it. Give me 2 seconds. It's like, yeah, I will gather together all my, Twitch friends and my League friends and my other Twitch friends and we will all sit together and we'll all suffer through this piece of fucking shit.
Question.
Yes.
Which is worse, this or Blödaren?
I'd rather sit through the bleeder than watch this again.
Fuck that.
I'd rather sit through that piece of fucking shit than
My
watch
God.
this again.
I love Ogge's reaction. Fuck that.
I'd rather sit through that than watch this again because it was so fucking boring. It's like 15 minutes into the movie, I was starting to fall asleep. And then it started to freeze on me, so I had to pause it every now and then. So I kept awake, but it's like... It's so fucking boring.
I agree, it is boring as hell, but most of what I think is just of what they wanted to do and what they did with it. That's mostly where I pointed, but yeah, it's not very climactic or action filled at all.
Yeah, and like if people have been listening to all our episodes, they know that I'm a sucker for gore, anything with blood, anything with dead bodies. The higher the body count, the more I will like the movie, most likely.
Yeah.
There was no body count in this. It was plain fucking boring.
You have that one, the guy that
Fuck
died.
They're all fine.
Yeah, but if you die at like the end or die as like the end credit, I don't think you should count.
No, you do not count unless it's in the actual movie. Like, from that you start the movie until like the 5 last minutes or something, that's in between where you count as a body count. That's when you're fun to watch die.
You just see someone die in the middle of the movie. Ha ha! You died.
That's legitimately how I react when I watch horror movies. Like I see someone die, I'm like, ha ha, you died. Oh yes, another kill. Yes, that's like.
Sucker.
Like I'm shit tons of fun watching movies with because my commentary is amazing. This doesn't get any points at all. This is like 10. Take 10 points off this movie, please. Minus 10.
Okay, then we are at -4, I think.
I do not recommend anyone to watch this piece of fucking shit. You will throw away 1 hour and 20 minutes of your life that you won't get back. What? Fucking go watch Desperate Housewives instead. Or something like that. Okay. Okay, Josef, what do you think about the movie?
Take it away. It's hard to pick up where you left off, Angel. I'm just gonna say.
I actually don't know what I'm gonna say.
I think I spoke for most of us here except Zombie.
Well, you could basically take everything Angel said about the movie being really fucking boring and unenjoyable and apply it to me as well, because I think this is a overhyped crap movie. I can't really believe that people really thought that that these were real recordings of people going missing in Maryland, because the movie was marketed as real footage just before it was released. I mean, come on. Would the police really release real footage of people gone missing to some filmmakers just so they could make a horror movie in quotation marks?
Yeah, to the cinema.
That's something kind of lively.
What did you say, Ogge?
To the cinema too, nevertheless.
Exactly. But yeah, when you're watching the Blair Witch Project, you're technically watching 3 idiots walking around in the woods, bickering and shouting at each other like complete morons instead of working together. And I just find the entire movie boring. The first 15 minutes is kind of okay. I mean, the first 15 or so minutes are like this build up until they are going out into the woods, and I like that documentary feeling you get of the first 15-20 minutes or whatever, but after that the movie just takes a nosedive and it just becomes shit basically. And my rating will be 1 out of 10, and I give it 1 because of those first 15 minutes of the movie.
Well, my rating is very generous.
Yeah. Ogge, what do you think about this?
They have one.
Well, I think it's a masterpiece. It's a 10 out of 10. The camera work is phenomenal. The acting is just world class, and it's truly horrifying.
I think we just lost Ogge.
That felt like a slap in the face out of nowhere.
Okay, but really, no, it's not really a good movie. It might have been good when it got released, but it sure hasn't aged well, if it was even good to begin with. I like the build up though, but it doesn't really once it builds up, it doesn't really move on. Like movies like that, it should like the things that are happening should like escalate slowly and slowly.
Yeah.
So it like gets worse and worse, but it doesn't really. That doesn't really happen.
No.
A lot. I think the characters, in some ways they act kind of realistic, but they're also pretty all over the place. Like sometimes they're acting like they don't care, and the next moment they're freaking out. There's not really much sense of that they're slowly losing it. It's just 1 minute they're losing it, the next one they're there, and so on. Also, it's since a found footage movie, even besides that, the camera work is just terrible. Like
yeah, there are actually other found footage movies that has really good camera work in them. For example, Wreck and Wreck 2 are really good examples of that.
Yeah. Even Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
Like, there are ways to make good camera angles, but there's not a good angle in the entire movie, especially when something is happening.
Yeah.
There's like one particular scene when I think she's running out of the tent, and then she sees something and freaks out, but we don't get to see what it is. She just walks out, screams at something, and then runs off.
Yeah, I read something about that, and I think the cameraman were supposed to show with the camera what it was she saw. But for some reason he forgot to do it during the scene. And they never reshot that sequence of the movie. I mean...
Yeah, that's not an excuse.
No, yeah, there's no excuse whatsoever.
Yeah.
Felt like, well, lol, I forgot. Oops. Well, we can't reshot it now. It's already been done. I ain't gonna do it again.
It's it's kind of like especially the second half. It's kind of a disappointment because the build-up is pretty good, I'd say. And what I noticed this time watching is that they're actually foreshadowing the death of the characters.
Uh-huh.
Or this, yeah, they're talking about that there was a guy like who went into town, just confessed something, and the police looked up and found 7 dead kids. And what he did was he would kill them 2 and 2 by having one stand in the corner of his basement.
Oh yeah.
When the other one walks in, he would then hit him in the back of the head.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that this time around. But now that when you say it,
yeah.
And there's also a theory up on YouTube by the film theorists about Josh and what was the other guy's name? Mike. Mike. Yeah. That those 2 guys were out to murder Heather.
Yeah.
It's up on YouTube. You can just search for the Blair Witch Project theory, and you should get the first result or something on YouTube if you want to check that one out. But it's a pretty interesting theory. But if you take the sequels into account, that theory doesn't really apply. But
Yeah.
if you take the movie just as a standalone movie, it fits pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
And that theory also makes the movie a wee bit more interesting.
Yeah, I think so too. That theory made me want to see it again, actually. But I would give this like a 3 or a 4 out of 10. You need to be like really into found footage movies like it. It's not something for everybody.
Can I give a new score?
Nope.
Shit. Because I suddenly regret my choice when I think about it.
Yeah, go ahead, Sobi.
Yeah, because I think like would score it the same way Ogge did, because I rated it more on the what they wanted to do and such, not really my own opinion. But yeah, it's very similar to what you guys think.
I think it's a good concept, but it's poorly executed.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Yeah. What ruins it the most for me is the camera angles, where whenever something's going on, you can't see anything. It's like Cloverfield.
Yeah,
Even worse than Cloverfield, maybe.
exactly. I hate that movie as well. I
Yeah.
actually think the sequels are a lot better.
Yeah.
In the Cloverfield franchise.
Yeah.
Another thing
Well,
that I think that this movie shits the bed with is that all of the characters are irritating assholes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
they are bickering, basically, from like,
The moment they enter the woods.
yeah, exactly. I think Mike does a jab towards Heather like 5 minutes into when they, after they have arrived to the woods. I can't remember what it says, but it's something about her trying to take on the leader role or whatever. And then later on, they bicker about the map, and
Yeah.
they could have cut down those scenes with like 10 minutes, because they are. I think that they're bickering about the fucking map for like 20 or 25 minutes or something, and it just gets so goddamn irritating to watch.
Yeah, and then he just throws it away.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one guy that
What
can't
an idiot.
read the map throws it away and calls it useless.
Yeah.
That's an extreme
when
dick move. Where did I
Yeah,
kill them?
that's also where they need it the most.
Yeah,
He throws away the map and then it takes the compass. And then he says, I'm not gonna use it, I'm gonna go here.
yeah.
What
Crying
could
idiot in the woods.
what could have they done to make the movie better, in your opinion? We can start with you, Zombie.
Well, they could have had like better like characters that like tried to survive more, I guess, instead of taking the time to argue with each other, they could at least try to do something else, like either discuss what's happening, like what the fuck is going on, or they could like, how do we get the fuck out of here? Because it's like so much time screaming at each other. My God, Like, sure, you will get angry and scared if you're lost in the woods, but do you really scream that much at each other? And like, as previously said, give like more shots at what is actually scary or is supposed to be scary in the movie. And actually have like something happening, something amounting to something other than they go from point A to point B and are supposed to go from point B to point A again, and that's the whole thing. But between point B and A they get lost.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. There's nothing else to add other than, oops, they died. And such.
I think the whole point with them being lost is that it's supposed to be like the witch that does something, so they just go in a type of loop.
Yeah. That, yeah. I lost my train of thought.
Okay, Angel, your thoughts?
About?
She can't hear us.
No, I accidentally muted my mic. I had to go do something.
Oh, never mind.
Okay, thoughts about what?
What would have made the movie better for you?
Made the movie better. That they realized at the script table, like, oh shit, this is a shit movie. Let's make a new one. That would have made it. No, but
You would have been happy if they cut out 80 minutes out of the movie, right?
Yes. Is that no? Like it could be like the Blair Witch Project, the end. That yes. No, like I said, the characters are fucking shit. They're see-through. They're paper thin, and the main actress, she's just a fucking cunt. She is annoying as fucking hell the whole fucking movie. She bitches and bitches and bitches and bitches and bitches. It's just like she doesn't have a reason to fucking bitch about things. Not in my opinion.
Yeah.
And the other two, they're also fucking cunts. For different reasons.
Cunt, the movie.
The Blair Cunt Project.
Honestly, don't say that. There's probably a porno out there called that.
I know that there are sexy parodies of this movie out there, though.
Oh god.
The Blair Witch Project 1 and 2. I think there's a third one as well.
Oh my god.
Because why not?
I mean, give the characters some depth. Add in some gore and a lot of dead bodies.
Basically make it a slasher.
Pretty much, yeah.
I wouldn't mind that.
Exactly. Make it a fucking slasher, and I will be happy. It's just like the movie was boring. It was plain. I mean, okay, I guess I can give it to them for the what's it called, directory. They're making brain.
Found
They
footage?
tried.
No, not found footage. What they are making in the movie.
Documentary.
Exactly, documentary. I want to say
Yeah.
directory, but that's something else. The way they make the documentary. Yeah, okay, I can give it to them. That's believable. But that they're like, oh hey, this is a real fine footage movie. Go fuck yourself. And it's like it was several parts where it was just black and screaming, and I'm like, am I supposed to be scared?
It's a movie for those who are scared of the dark.
One thing I think is kind of funny with this movie is that there are people that thinks that this movie is creepy. I can't understand why.
Like, if you put it yourself in that scenario, I think it could be unnerving. Not scary, but unnerving. It would make you uneasy to be in like that situation, feeling helpless in the middle of the woods, lost, with nothing to protect yourself. They could have picked up a branch, but they're idiots, so...
Yeah. They are.
Because, and for me, the like only part that I legit like became like a bit, how should I say this, like uneasy, is when they enter the house, because I personally, when it's dark and you can't see out of the window, nah fam, I'll stand outside. I ain't entering that house. I'd rather someone take me in the woods or than in that house.
Yeah. Ogge, your thoughts?
First of all, better camera work, and also better sound. You can't even hear, like, you can barely even hear what's going on. And most of the times you don't know if it's some noises the character makes or if it's something that's happening in the woods. Also, I would have like the spookiness like ramp up more. In this movie, pretty much all that ever happens until the end is that she leaves sticks and stones, and that's like her only trick until they die.
Yeah. That and sounds.
Yeah. If you, for example, look at Paranormal Activity, it just gets worse and worse and more frequent.
Yeah.
That makes it a lot more unnerving. And
even though the Paranormal Activity movies sucks crap from a stick.
They're way better than this, in my opinion.
They are, but they are still not good movies.
I think I haven't seen all of them though. But
okay, we lost contact with Ogge again here.
I was gonna say they're like a 5 or maybe a 6 in my opinion.
Huh.
So
I think they're all right.
So Ogge left the podcast. We're one man down.
Look, what I'm saying is they pull this concept off way better because it's constantly ramping up.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like,
I can see where you're coming from.
And whenever something's happening, you're for example, when there's night, you know something's gonna happen, but you're still surprised because it's even worse than the last time, and now there's even more stuff going on. That's a lot more unnerving because you know, well, she's gonna leave a stick somewhere, and she's gonna give them a stone. That's what's gonna happen.
She's trying to bring them to the Stone Age.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Random, but okay.
Logic be gone.
It's zombie. There was never any logic behind that.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to spew out words and hope that they stick.
Wow.
Okay. Well, I must echo what you guys said already. Better camera work, up the tension more suspense. They should have made the characters more likable, in my opinion. I mean, like we all already have said multiple times, all of the characters are basically assholes, and there isn't really anyone to root for. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just rooting that everyone would fucking die.
Oh, and better explanation too. Like, you don't really know what's going on after watching the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've never understood that whole thing with, yeah, well, the things you don't see is a lot more scarier than the things you see. Well, I'm watching a movie to see things. If I want to use my imagination, I read a book or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
like
sometimes I can understand it, but that's not how you use that trick
Yeah.
at all.
no, definitely not.
Yeah, like I've been listening to people talking about this movie, cause yeah, I mean, it's they just released a game of it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the whole thing they
Yeah.
mean is like, oh yeah, you should use your imagination to, like, oh, what can be in the dark? Oh, it's something scary in the dark. Well, go fuck yourself. There's nothing fucking scary in the dark.
At least give us a hint that there's something scary in the dark before you try and make it like, oh, there's something scary in the dark.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because, like, show us at least a few times that there's something scary. That makes you actually, like, tension when you don't see it, because is it gonna be worse than the last if they, like, ramp up the scariness every time you manage to see something on the camera? Then
Yeah.
you're gonna actually know that it is something scary, even if you don't see it.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a glimpse or nothing at all. You know that it's gonna be worse than the last.
Yeah, it's like the whole idea of the movie is to actually be scared of nothing, because it's supposed to be psychological horror. But I mean, because yeah, that's the thing.
It
I
could have been
guess.
done better.
Yeah. It's
You gotta show something to build up the tension.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, do we have any last thoughts about this pile of crap? Or should we move into background?
I have nothing.
Yeah.
I don't have anything.
Well, besides that, it shouldn't have been fucking made. No.
We should make our own Blair Witch movie.
Go fuck yourself.
I think we could do it better than they.
Well, considering we aren't even lost in the woods and we're already bickering, I doubt. I have my doubts.
Well, we would probably kill off Zombie first, because he's the smallest and the easiest to kill.
Hey!
I wonder what the movie would have been called.
4 cunts in the woods.
Wow.
The Near Dark Podcast, the movie.
Spök i skogen!
No! So bad. Sounds like something out of a kids series. Spöke i skogen. Åh nej.
Okay, so background.
Yeah. Yeah. All I have is that Bruce Willis predicted this movie in when he was recording having a conversation with Tarantino, and he pretty much predicted this movie down to almost the exact year and the budget that they had. Like years before it was even
Wasn't
made.
it during the filming of Pulp Fiction? He
Yeah, it was during when they were shooting Pulp Fiction. That's when he predicted it.
yeah.
And it was very spot on.
Yeah, I read about that as well. Zombie, regale us with all of your background information, please.
What? I'm lost.
You don't have any background information.
You
Okay.
kind of cut out a little bit.
I
so
never
that
have.
might be why.
How dare you assume?
Angel, I guess you don't have anything.
Fuck that!
I take that as a no.
No, I got nothing.
Okay, I got a couple of things here. Directors Daniel Myrick and Eduardo Sanchez moved on to producing Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2, and later on the third installment in the franchise, Blair Witch from 2016, I believe. Eduardo Sanchez also directed the segment A Ride in the Park in the found footage anthology movie VHS 2, and he also directed 4 episodes in the TV series From Dusk Till Dawn. Joshua Leonard, the guy who played Josh in the movie, moved on to appear in the 2004 slasher Madhouse, and also lended his voice to one of the characters in the Chronicles of Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay game from the same year. He also reprised his role from the Riddick game in the sequel, Assault on Dark Athena, in 2009. And he also appeared in the 2008 remake of Prom Night. The first cut of the movie to be screened was 2.5 hours in length. Would you guys watch that version?
No.
I'd rather fucking hang myself.
The word fuck is used apparently 154 times during this film. And I got 2 pretty long things here, so hang in there. More money was spent on the movie afterwards than before its completion. The directors estimated the initial production budget of the movie to be around $20,000 and $25,000, but this rose to somewhere between $500,000 and $750,000 after the studio did some additional post-production. The studio had acquired the movie rights for $1.1 million. They spent an additional $25 million to market it, even while taking into account these additional costs, with a worldwide box office of almost $250 million. The movie earned more than 9 times its final budget. And the last thing I got here is one of the first theatrical features to make use of a large-scale viral marketing campaign, which claimed that the 3 main characters had really gone on a trip to shoot a documentary and were never seen again, save for the footage they shot being found a year after their disappearances. A website debuted on the internet 1 year prior to the release in order to set up the premise of the documentary, complete with detailed reports of the search, the recovery of the trio's footage within an old cabin, reactions from their families, and expert opinions. The 3 actors were instructed to refrain from making public appearances. The myth wasn't debunked until after the movie's premiere, but positive word of mouth had already popularized the movie to the extent that its success completely overshadowed that of the almost simultaneously released big-budget horror movie The Haunting. And that's everything I got. But this movie is pretty well known, and there are tons of information out there, so I just picked a couple of things.
What I want to know is, what the fuck did I spend that budget on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't know.
Good question.
Okay, you said that he used the word fuck 150 times.
Yeah.
I think I used almost 500 times in one episode. Like, step up your game, people!
Weird flex, but okay.
No. Not weird flex. Proud flex.
Sure. Then there's 2 things left, right?
No, we end it here. We don't say goodbye or anything. We just cut it here.
Oh, right, there's 3 things.
3 things.
Yeah, it's the name of the outro, the next pick, and bye.
Oh. Yeah.
You would count those as separate things.
Okay, so I think Josef has next pick, right?
No.
Next pick is a special episode.
Yeah. It's the Halloween episode. We are covering Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Oh.
Oh!
No,
You can hear the difference in the
nice reaction.
excitement. Like,
Yeah.
so excited, and then just,
God
a
damn it.
disappointment.
And we are playing out with the Blair Witch Project, Kingdom's Coming.
Okay. So, unless somebody has something to add, I guess this is time to say goodbye to the good people.
Goodbye, good folks. And thanks for listening, and hopefully we'll see you in the next episode.
Goodbye and thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, good
Thank
people.
you for being here.
Hope to see you in the next episode.
Goodbye.